Morning. How's everyone doing? I'll put the countdown up. We're starting at 11:30, but I figured I'm sitting here if you guys wanted to hang out for a few minutes before we start. How about some morning nicotine? I bet Jason Day too. Yeah, I mean, week's late. It's Thursday. It's always pretty weak. Rangers Nats first 5 under. Marlins under. Yeah, well, we're gonna do the golf video. That's gonna be every Wednesday night. So that video I uploaded last night, that'll be every Wednesday. Yeah, Clippers got rocked, which is good. I had Dallas. I went 2-0 in NBA yesterday. Nice little 2-0. Not really a big deal. 2-0. Kirms on early. He's serious. More like Kirms is just sitting here waiting, so might as well hop in the stream. Yeah, I mean, I hope the Knicks get him tonight. I'm not betting it, but you want to talk spreadsheets? All right, let's talk spreadsheets. I never know if people actually like that or they're like, this is the nerdiest, boringest shit ever. Boringest. I am tired. All right. Let's talk spreadsheets. Okay, so MLB tools. There we go. All right, shout out a game. Drake Diss pitching a no-hitter today. Guys, who's Drake Diss? Cubs Mets. We'll do Cubs Mets. All right. Whoops. So Cubs Mets. One second. Sorry about that. I wasn't prepared. Cubs Mets. And on the mound we have, I'm pretty sure it's Hauser. Yeah. So it's Ben Brown. And it's Adrian Hauser. And both those guys are righties, but I will make sure, because if I start doing this and it turns out, but I'm 99% sure both are righties. Righty. Yep, both are righties. Okay. Cubs bats cooling off the last 7 days. Let's zoom in a little bit. Whoa, that's print. All right, so Cubs bats cooling off a little bit, but it's only 7 days. You can see the Cubs bats have been pretty solid as a whole. Last 7 days in the bottom 10. Not against righties, though. Cubs are much more reliable. Where the hell is the name under my... What the hell is this, man? One second. God damn it. I don't know who comes into this office and is messing with my templates. 1 second. I'm OCD about this stuff, so let me just... It'll take 1 second to do this. Sorry. Should be good. There we go. All right. Anyway, so Cubs much better against left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching. You could see Cubs really haven't been hitting righties all season. This goes back 30 days, last 14 days, last 7. Cubs also haven't been hitting on the road at all. So maybe not a terrible spot for Hauser, but let's look at Hauser. Good Lord. Hauser's last 2 starts, he's got an ERA over 15, a WHIP over 260. Hold on, let's drop it back to April 10th here. Last 3 starts, I guess, slightly better. Let's look at the game logs. Dude, he got rocked by the Cardinals. He got rocked by the Dodgers. Okay, he pitched his... So it was really only one bad home start. So he had one bad home start against the Cardinals. Before that, he actually pitched well against the Pirates. Well, he pitched solid against the Pirates, and he pitched well against the Tigers before that. So maybe Adrian Hauser's terrible numbers are really 2 games. And you can see Adrian Hauser is better against bottom 10 lineups. So you can see Adrian Hauser's numbers versus top 10 lineups versus righties versus bottom 10. Cubs are definitely bottom 10 versus righties. And against top 10 lineups, he's 149th, 142nd, 145th. But against bottom 10, he's a little better. All right. Righties to pitch against the Cubs. Severino, as we know, dealt through a great game. Tanner Houck threw a great game. They did get to Cutter Crawford, though, who's good. They got 10 hits off Cutter Crawford. But Verlander, Houck, Severino all pitched well against the Cubs. Cubs also haven't been getting to bullpens, really. Go to the other side. Mets bullpen has been lights the hell out. So the Mets should be able to keep the Cubs from scoring runs. Well, it's on the other side. Ben Brown, I guess I don't have a picture for Ben Brown yet. Mets bats. These are the most mediocre looking numbers. All right, so pretty average. I mean, 15th, 16th, 16th in the last 7 days, 18th, 17th, 17th in the last 14. Against righties, same thing. Pretty goddamn mediocre here for the Mets. I mean, not bad or good. Mets at home, not good, though. So clearly the Mets have been hitting better on the road because you could see their overall numbers don't look so bad, but if you look just at their numbers at home, not great. That's not hitting well at home. Let's see righty starters against the Mets here. They couldn't get to Tyone. They didn't really... Well, they got to Lance Lynn a little bit, but not really. 8 base runners in 5 innings. Didn't really get to Sonny Gray. Didn't really get to Michaelis. Dude, in fact, when's the last time the Mets got to a righty starter, honestly? And also, they're not really hitting bullpens. They were in the last 30 days. Last 14, it's second. Last 14 days, it's 11th. Last 7 days, 17th, 19th, and 19th. Mets bats, man. But the good news is the Cubs bullpen is absolute shit. Look at the Cubs bullpen on the road here. One of the worst in baseball. I think it's a Mets spot. Yeah, when's the last... And Ben Brown had that one awesome start here. Yeah, I like the Mets, but Mets let me down. The way they lost yesterday... They lost on a freaking... I mean, I'm a Mets fan, so I know when people complain about their team, like a bad call on their team, it sounds stupid. You sound like such a crybaby, but that was a bad call. I mean, he was safe. All right, let's go to the next game. Next game, please. I need money. Yankees O's. Let's do Yankees. Yankees O's. All right. So, whoops, wrong window. And but we're gonna have Kyle Bradish, who's never pitched, so we don't have anything for him. Obviously, he hasn't pitched this year. Who's pitching for? Oh, it's Rodon. All right. Yankees bats heating up. Holy shit. Whoops. All right, so the Yankees. Jesus. Yeah, Yankees bats have some serious looking numbers here. On the road, first or second, versus righties, first, third. I mean, this is serious shit here. We don't have any numbers for Kyle Bradish over here, obviously, because he hasn't pitched. Let's see recently, but Grayson Rodriguez was able to pitch a good game against the Yankees. But before that, they rocked Tobias Myers. They rocked Joe Ross. You know, Colin Ray gave up 5 earned runs, but he only let up 7 base runners in 6 innings, which is actually pretty good. So, and this is another one. Look at this. Paul Blackburn, he threw 6 innings against the Yankees. He gave up 4 runs. He only allowed 5 base runners. That's a whip below 1. So, like, that's a good start. I don't care what the earned run says. That's a good start. So, I think the Yankees' numbers against righties, if you just isolate it to recently, I don't know. I'd say overvalued, I guess. They are getting into bullpens, though. Baltimore's bullpen, pretty mediocre here. But expected FIP indicates that they're a lot better than their numbers show. All right, let's go down to Rodon versus the let's start with the Orioles bats. As we know, Baltimore can definitely hit. Definitely a little cold against righties right now. In the last 7 days, they're all the way back here. 7 days is a small sample size, though. But you can see Orioles bats as a whole been one of the best lineups in baseball this season. Orioles at home, not a problem. They can hit at home. Let's see game logs. Righty starters against the Orioles. All right. Clark Schmidt actually was able to pitch a good game against the Orioles. They got to Blackburn, though. 8 base runners in 4 innings, 6 earned runs. That's a shelling. Ross Stripling was able to pitch a good game against them. So, yeah, Orioles are getting into righties. Orioles a little cold against bullpens, too. Remember, last year they were the bullpen killers. And 7 days is a small sample size, but last handful of games, Baltimore hasn't been getting to bullpens. Something to consider. Yankees bullpen. Look at the expected FIP row for the Yankees bullpen here, indicating that the Yankees bullpen has been very lucky to have these numbers, that they haven't been pitching as good as the numbers indicate. I don't care about Kyle Bradish. I would go Baltimore here. I'll wait till see what they think on the live show, but I'm thinking I'm down to bet Baltimore. Oh my God, Rodon's a left-hander. Duh. Oh my God. How did I miss that? Let's go back. Lefty starters versus the Orioles. They crushed J.P. Sears, got to Tyler Anderson. Detmers was able to go 7, but 9 base runners and 4 earned runs. Detmers is a right. Oh, no, Detmers is a lefty. DL Hall they got to. Baltimore against lefties has been right here. Where's Baltimore? There we go. Baltimore versus lefties. One of the best lineups in baseball against lefties. So the fact that Rodon's a lefty, and I should have marked that in the beginning. Next game. I like Baltimore. I think everyone's going to be betting the Yankees based on Kyle Bradish pitching, but so is the spreadsheet available in the Discord? Not right now, but I think I'm going to figure out a way to the thing is I needed to auto export to the Discord. So not right this second it isn't. But on the Discord, people privately message me and ask me for things, and I send them to them. Like, there's one guy who messages me every day. He's like, hey, could I get the and I send it to him. So, I mean, there are people that get them. It's just I don't really have it set up to you'd be surprised how little people care about this stuff. I personally think it's awesome, but there's a lot of people that are like, just give me the picks, bro. Which is, hey, whatever, not judging, but. All right, we're starting about 18 minutes. Can I get the special package? No, Helms. Most definitely not. Can I get a game, please? Game. No way, it's that easy. I'm about to start asking. Well, that's the thing. If enough people start asking me, I'll figure out a way to make it available. But I put, the members page on the website where I used to put, well, I'm not used to. You can still find the NBA ones up there. I put so much effort into building that page, and no one was looking at it. It was like, my website gets thousands of hits a day, and the members page was getting like 6 hits a day. It was like, well, I spent so much time building. What am I going to spend all this time maintaining this page if no one cares? So if there's enough interest in this kind of stuff, I'll get it to people. But like, we have a small staff. It's just me, Prop Beaver, and Andy here. So I have to put my resources into what people want to see, and people like the shows. So Washington, Texas, we can do that one. Nats, Texas. All right, this time we'll make sure we get the handedness of the pitchers right. So we got Eovaldi versus... Oh, it's Mitchell Parker. That's right. Didn't he pitch well, too? Make sure I spelled that right. Yep, Mitchell Parker. Spelled it right. All right, cool. And then Nathan Eovaldi. Mitchell Parker, I don't believe is a lefty, though. Mitchell Parker... Oh, he is a lefty. Okay. So, yeah, we got to leave that L there. Mitchell Parker is a lefty. Okay. Look at these Nats bats, man. Last 14 days, 13th, 13th, 9th. Last 7, solid. Not so much against righties, though. Uh-oh. Yeah. Righties is correct. Got me second-guessing the handedness now. No, so they're hitting against Eovaldi, so righties is correct. Not so much against righties, so the Nats have been clearly hitting lefties better. Look at these numbers on the road, though. We're talking about a top 10. The Nationals are a top 10 road lineup. It's been 30 days and looking solid across the board. Let's see some righty game logs against the Nats. Cabrera. They scored 5 runs on Cabrera. No, they got to Cabrera. This is 6 base runners in 4 1/3 innings isn't an explosion, but 5 earned runs is serious. They got to Cabrera. Didn't really get to Knack, which is a concern. Got to Hunter Brown a little bit. This is like very mediocre, these numbers. Kind of They're doing a better job of getting to bullpens recently. Now let's go over here and look at Eovaldi. We'll start with his game logs. Coming off a decent start against Cincinnati. He got crushed by the Braves on the road in Atlanta. I know 3 earned runs doesn't look terrible, but 11 base runners in 5 1/3. That's a whip over 2. That's bad. He got crushed at Houston as well. Pitched well against Oakland. It looks like the homes. Okay, so his last 3 home starts would be good. Let's go specifically Eovaldi at home. Yeah, and as I expected. So it looks like he's only got. Let's drop this to April 1st. So he's only had 3 home starts on the season, but look at his numbers at home. 150 ERA, 133 whip isn't amazing, but 346 expected FIP in his last home start, 318 expected FIP in his last 2 home starts. So Eovaldi's been good at home in Arlington. Let's go down to Mitchell Parker. Let's start with game logs. So he's made 3 starts. Not good here. 8 base runners in 4 innings against Miami. I know he only let up 1 run, so it doesn't look terrible at first glance, but that's an even 2 whip, so that's not good. He pitched a gem against the Astros. Unreal how bad the Astros are. So he pitched the gem against the Astros, and he pitched well against the Dodgers. So really, it's just 1 bad start against the Marlins. Other than that, he's actually been pretty good. Let's go over to the Rangers. Rangers bats, as we know, haven't been the same this year. Nothing here. I mean, the last 7 days looks like they are coming alive a little bit. And if you look at the last 7 days against lefties, now last 7 days against lefties is going to be a small sample size. But the Rangers as a whole haven't been the dangerous lineup against lefties this year that they were last year, as we know. Rangers at home, also not really the same. I mean, these aren't terrible numbers, but last year, a lefty starter on the road in Arlington, you could just chalk them up for getting shelled every time. It's just not the case this year. They haven't seen a lefty. Okay, let's switch to April 20th. Damn, when's the last time this team saw a lefty? April 15th. There we go. Look at these lefty numbers. The last two lefties to pitch against the Rangers, an 090 whip. So they're just not getting base runners on them. They've faced 5 lefties this season, a whip under 1. We can probably see that right here. Yeah, there's just no base runners here. Sale went 7. Skubal, 6 1/3. Sears, 6 1/3. They were able to get to Alex Wood, but who the hell hasn't gotten to Alex Wood? I will give the Rangers a little bit of credit that there's some tough lefties on this list. Steele, Sears is not terrible. Skubal, Sale. So you could say they've seen some tough competition. I think Mitchell Parker might pitch well here, but there's no way I trust the Nats bats to get to Eovaldi. So I would go first 5 under, or depending, you know what, we should also pull up bullpens. Let's see how the bullpens look for this one. We got Texas. Texas has everybody. Washington. Well, hold on. See, Washington used their whole bullpen yesterday, but I think only Floro is going to be missing. These guys, Finnegan, Harvey, and Law, all should be available to pitch again today. So under. I think under's the way to go there. What's that number at? I like the matchup for both. It's at 8. I think under would be the move there. Show slip. You are all sucked into sports and gambling. There's bigger things happening around the world. Signed, the guy that's sitting here watching with us. You're sitting here watching. What are you doing? There's bigger things in the world, bro. Get after it. Some people, bro. What are you doing here? If you're not interested in sports and gambling, what the fuck are you doing here? Yo. Who are these people? Oh, shit. All right. My bad. I was going through the spreadsheet. Was he going crazy the whole time? My bad. I was looking at the spreadsheet. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, shit. It's all rigged. Yeah, man. It's all scripted. These people are fucking nuts. All right. Do we want to do... Well, you know what? Let me take a second to send an invite to Toast and Prop Beaver and all that. NBA is second. Polanco asking about the Knicks. So we're doing... There's only 6 MLB games, and then we'll do the NBA second. So... All right, just sent them the invite. Let me send commission invite here. What's the hat? This is Mariners. So I guess they're like old logo or something. I don't know. I thought it looked cool on the Mariners page. Yeah, it's a nice hat, right? That's why I got it. I mean, when I ordered it, I was like, I don't think anyone's going to know this is the Mariners, but I thought it looked cool. Also, I don't have many blue hats. I have A lot of black, white, red. I don't have many blue hats, so I needed one. How many hats do I have? I don't know. I got a whole room with hats and stuff for the show. Probably a couple hundred. If Rockies win by 3 or more, can I get a hat? Yeah, Scooby. Yeah, there you go. If the Rockies win by 3+, you can go pick a hat off of KyleKirms.com/shop. Pick one. The -10 110 hat. I got like 5 hats on there. Choose one and I'll send it to you. A couple hundred is crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's for work. It's a write-off. Because you only see me from here up, there's not much variance I can do as far as you got to try to break up the monotony. You don't want viewers to feel like they're looking at the same thing every single day. So really a different hat is the only way I can do that. I can't, like, people can't even really see the shirt I'm wearing in a lot of instances. If you're Kyle, who is Sauce? No, I set it up here. I made a quick temporary template to put me to the right side so we had the space for the spreadsheet. Kyle, who's hitting a piss missile today? I don't know. We can ask these guys when they get on here. I don't look at that kind of stuff. Do you have pants on? You got to pay to find out, bro. Go on KyleKirms.com. There's a camera down low, and if you pay to be a VIP subscriber, you get to watch the bottom half during the show. Kyle, the people want to know what your go-to table game is at the casino. Really nothing. I mean, maybe roulette, but people are, I'm not like I don't love gambling like that. The table games are too, I mean, I'm a numbers person, like statistics and probability, that kind of stuff comes natural to me. I've always been pretty good at it. And the table games, it's pretty obvious, like sitting down is a losing endeavor, just simple math. So with sports, it's like, okay, 52.3% and I break even. 52.3% winners. I can do that. Like at least, obviously it's still, there's the VIG, it's still tilted towards the house, but at least I'm in control, or at least it seems that way, because the casinos are looking at these games same as I am. So the fact that I could choose a side, and look, not that sports betting's the most lucrative thing ever, but at least I'm in control, and it's not a set price on a set table that's the price is set for me to lose. Yeah, this dude's gone. My man, get some help. Seriously, talk to somebody. You ever collab with Guy Boston? Yeah, Evan comes on. He's been on a few times. He's actually coming on Monday. I was just texting him yesterday. Evan's a cool guy. There's really not anybody in sports betting that I don't get along with. Everybody I've met so far has been cool. Yeah, Evan's cool. His Twitter name is EV Guy Boston. So before I met him, I thought it was like a positive EV guy, and his name's Evan. So this whole time, I mean, I wonder how many people see his Twitter handle thinking he's like one of those EV guys. No, his name is Evan. That's why it says that. Didn't know that. Well, I didn't know that until I met him, actually. You ever talk to Just a Bet Outside? No, I think Just a Bet Outside. I have seen their videos pop up on YouTube, but I've never, I don't think I know them. When you bring Jay Briggs back on, I asked him last week. I sent him a text. Yeah, shit. I should have talked to System Plays before. We're not doing hockey today. So I should have got his picks before, so I at least could have shared it. But he didn't answer this morning, so. How do you handicap MLB games if particular pitcher last games go over and other pitchers last 5 go under? I mean, that's a pretty specific instance. I'd have to see the game you're referring to because I don't know exactly what you mean. Guys, whenever Sauce says I hate my bet, it means hammer it super well. Is that true? I wonder if I wish I tracked shit like that because obviously people tune in for the bets and shit, but also people like the entertainment, and I think it would be funny if it'd be like Toast whenever you say in any way, shape, or form you're hitting at 71%. Like if people track that kind of shit, I think that would be funny, but I don't know how I would even do that. Prop Beaver. Oh, my bad. My bad, dude. I didn't know someone was going to walk in. Probably I put you on the screen. I put you on the screen and your mom or somebody was behind you.
Yeah, I know.
So the viewers just saw your mom.
It's my sister, and there's a wasp in the house.
There's wasps in New Jersey?
Yeah, there's wasps in New Jersey.
That was your sister? I feel bad. All the viewers just saw her just waking up. I didn't. That was completely unintentional. I put you on, and then it was like, fuck. All right. So how are you guys feeling this morning?
It's 7:30 in the morning. It's all right.
I don't give a fuck.
How are you this morning?
I feel good, man. A 2-0 night in the NBA playoffs, that'll do that to you. That's a natural dopamine hit right there. Feeling good. Got a solid 6.5 hours of sleep last night, which for me is like an eternity.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know if it's an age thing or maybe because I work a lot, but I average 4.5 hours, and that's
kind of where I'm at. I have a little bit of insomnia too, but okay. I feel a little bit better now. My 8.5 in New York went to 8. Boston's at 120. I got him at 105.
Boston. Okay. I didn't look at those two. We looked at Baltimore. Wait, which New York?
The Mets game.
You like the under in that?
Under 8.5. It's 8 now.
Interesting. I'm going to take a quick piss. Entertain the troops.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I don't really know how to entertain you all. I hope we all had a good day. Yeah. Beaver, how are you this morning?
Annoyed. Yesterday sucked. Today's slate's kind of shitty.
Yesterday did suck.
Yeah.
Yesterday did suck.
I'm just trying to get through this dog shit and move on to tomorrow.
The only reason that I lost almost 2 units yesterday but I guess the only solace I had is that when every big favorite like that on the board wins, at least for me, it's just okay, what am I gonna do?
All right, it's all squares there.
Exactly. It's okay, what am I gonna do? And yeah.
A couple of my reads were not good, but the Chris Bassett one is just the one that really pisses me off.
God.
I can't believe that. The dude was fantastic through 5 frames. Kind of just has a bit of a mental error in the 6, and to lose it that way, just gross. And then obviously Toronto for you literally can't put up a run on the board, despite the books basically the books put their nutsack on the table and said Lugo's getting shelled here.
Toronto hurt. The Padres first 5 hurt. Philly run line hurt. Cleveland team total over 3.5 hurt. Yeah.
So the moral of the story is hurt.
I mean, Cleveland plus 145 helped. LA Dodgers minus 1.5 helped a lot.
Remember when you guys laughed at my under in that game?
I don't even know what the score was.
8-0.
Oh. Remember when you laughed at my Dodgers pick?
No, I didn't. I left your Dodgers pick yesterday.
Oh.
All right. Rockies at Fish. Let's get started. It's 11:31. Marlins at minus 165, minus 160 is just crazy to even think, to even fathom. And it's Cabrera making a home start against Lambert. Prop Beaver, do you have any thoughts in this game?
Yeah, what with Cabrera over 6.5 Ks? I always look to fade the Rockies in day games, especially on the road. Cabrera's coming off a 4K performance against the Nats. That's one of the toughest teams to K in the league. I think this is a smash spot to bounce back. Thus far, Colorado, 27th K percentage overall, 28th on the road, 30th in road day games at 32.4%. Last year, they were 28th, 30th, and 29th in those same categories. We've got Cabrera, who 3 starts. Guy owns an elite 31K rate, 34 chase rate, both 88th plus percentile, and a 29.6 whiff rate. Specifically, Cabrera has been absolutely destroying right-handed batters. He has a 16% increase in K percentage, an 11% decrease in walk rate, a 0.4 drop in whip, and his xFIP is 0.81. I mean, that's just absolutely silly. Rockies, I believe they're starting 6 or 7 righties today, and 2 of those lefties, one of those 2 lefties is Charlie Blackmon. The dude has owned Charlie Blackmon, 3 Ks and 6 at-bats, shows he's capable of getting him out, and that's important because Charlie Blackmon's really good at limiting Ks against righties. Cabrera's already faced the Rockies twice, 15 Ks and 2 starts, both of those at Coors. Now he's going to be at home where he doesn't have to deal with that elevation, taking some of that heat off of his pitches. I just think that there's too much working for him, so yeah.
I just need my bad. I'm getting the pick graphics over. I should have prepared that before the show. So it was Cabrera over Ks, right?
Yeah.
All right, now we should be good to go. If I go here. Cabrera Ks. There you go. All right, cool. Commish, are you a Peter Lambert guy?
No, and if you find a Peter Lambert guy, I would love to meet him because I think that would be a really interesting psych experiment. But I do think he has a potential path to some success here. For whatever reason, the Marlins are starting 5 righties today. Peter Lambert's not good by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not the worst against righties. If you look at his splits so far this year, a little bit improved over last year, but 227 FIP, pretty healthy K to walk ratio against righties. It's these lefties that he's just going to have to make sure don't beat him. Arise, Chisholm, Josh Bell, and Jesus Sanchez. If he can control that, I think he can limit the damage early in the game. Edward Cabrera, I mean, Prop Beaver just went over a lot of it. I'm not going to belabor the point there. He's been pretty good so far. The Rockies have not been very good. These offenses are absolutely atrocious. I mean, you look at what they've done against right-handed pitching the last 2 weeks. Colorado's 29th in WRC+, Miami's 28th in WRC+. I know it feels pretty gross to even consider an under with Peter Lambert on the mound, but the under 2.5 first 3 makes sense for me, and I don't think the Rockies are a bad value with that the up too early promo here. The Marlins bullpen, not in really good shape with Tanner Scott pitching 3 days in a row, and I'll just be honest, the Marlins are a bad baseball team. Why are they minus 175? I like Cabrera, but that's a bad baseball team.
So would you say Rockies or pass?
Yeah, I'm going to bet the under 2.5 first 3, though.
Oh, you are going to bet the under? Okay.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not going official on it. Like, it'd just be a smaller play to start the day, but I think this could be low scoring the first time through the order.
First 5.
They still have
first
that
3.
Promo? I thought that died.
But it did too.
Yeah,
Please, for the love of God, can it die?
What you want for the up 2 promo?
I want it to
can't-
stop.
I can't deal with
Now.
that anymore. Enough of these fucking people asking, well, which team do you like for the up 2? Pick
Oh,
one of the
oh,
5
got it.
money lines I have on the board. I don't care. I don't care. Pick one.
Prop Beaver didn't get his coffee this morning.
No, I'm not.
dead
I'm
serious.
pissed off
I'm
today.
so sick and tired of hearing of that question. Oh, I got a up 2 promo.
You know what? You know how I handle it? I just ignore the message.
So do I. But it just sucks that's what all you like. It's just I'm so over that promotion. That is like, yeah.
I think it's here for all of May now, from what I heard.
The worst is
Kill
when
me.
like somebody like when you're talking about captaining a game and somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I got a up 2 promo." I'm like, "Fuck you!" Like no one's asking you about your fucking promo.
Oh my God, you guys are so angry.
No,
Someone said,
it's like, oh, I've been doing bad this month, but the up 2 promo saving me, yada yada yada. I can't take it anymore.
true.
I can't fucking take it anymore.
someone said when Kyle, Prop, Beaver, and Toast all agree on the same pick, you have to fade them because they know their shit, but something happens when they all agree. We have a good record when we all agree this year. And the reason you think that, it's just basic human psychology. When you see all of us or all the people on a show agree, in your mind, that means, oh, this should hit. So if it hits at 59%, just in your mind, you're going to say it goes 20 times and it goes 13 and 7. In your mind, you're going to really remember those 7 times. It's like, oh my God, they were all wrong. As opposed to when they're the 13 times that we're correct when we're on the same side, it's not going to register. So you're going to look back and remember the 7 times. We have a good record when we all agree. People were saying the same thing in college basketball. But, I mean, it's people in their brains, they compute it as they all agree. This must hit at 90%. And obviously that's not how it works. Toast, what do you think?
It's Rockies or pass. I actually a little bit disagree with Kamish. I would actually play over if I had to. Not that I have anything to say that like I think that these offenses are very good or whatever, but I can't underestimate how bad these bullpens truly are. Obviously he's playing a first 3, so it's different. But as far as full game, Miami's bullpen already bad. No Tanner Scott. Anthony Maldonado, who's actually been really good for them lately. He's pitched 2 of the last 3 days, so he's not going to be available. Just 7.5 is a very low number. These are very bad teams. So I would lean over and I would lean Rockies. No way in hell I play Miami on the money line.
Exhibit A. I don't know if this guy did it on purpose, but it's like he was trying to prove my point for me. He comments, no offense, you all said White Sox and Cardinals yesterday. It happens, though. Right. Well, no, the White Sox cashed 2 days ago. But the day before that, we all had White Sox. And the day before that, we all had White Sox. And also, yesterday, I had Tigers team total under, not Cardinals.
The White Sox
me and Toast both cashed
Oh,
yesterday.
yeah. That's right. I had White Sox first. Yeah.
I mean, so we very smart people today. Very good, guys. Keep it going.
No, he wasn't being a dick. But he was just he was just wrong. But he wasn't being a dick. All right, next up. Yankees, Orioles. I already went through this one on the with the spreadsheets with the people before we went live, and I'm here, guys. This is where I want to bet. I'm not going to be talked into the other side, but you guys can talk whether I turn it into the pass. This graphic says Burns. It's Kyle Bradish. It's not Corbin Burns. I don't think when Andy made these yesterday that we knew
it was undecided.
Right, so that's why Andy didn't mess up. He just literally didn't have that information. I'm backing Kyle Bradish here. I think just this price, Orioles at home, it's a lefty. I know Rodon's been good, but it's a lefty. Orioles have been, you could probably make an argument, they've been the best lineup in baseball against lefties this year. If you're going to give me the Orioles at home against the lefty at plus 100, I'm probably going to take it 10 times out of 10. It's a matter of the price. So, yeah, I'm going to be on Baltimore here. Can you guys talk it into a pass, or what do you think?
I feel the same way as you.
Yeah, I can talk you further into the bet.
Oh, you're with me.
Yeah, I feel the same way as you. I think that Rendon. I'll let these other two talk about Rendon because I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have the best numbers as far as everything coming as well. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to give me a Baltimore team that I understand that Bradish hasn't pitched at all this season, but with somebody that young and talented for them and so important to them, I have a hard time believing they didn't bring him back until he was 100% ready to go. On top of that, you do have a full rested Baltimore bullpen because nobody was used yesterday besides Bauman. So every single from top to bottom, everybody there is ready to go. And this Yankees team, I mean, I understand that they scored 30 runs in Milwaukee, but they've scored 4 runs here in Baltimore. I've probably been up for 30 minutes and I've seen multiple people talk about there's got to be runs because there's no runs being scored. I think that Baltimore can score some runs against a lefty at home. I'm not so sure about the Yankees and Bradish in the Baltimore bullpen. So if you're going to give me plus money with the world on the other side, yeah, I'm with you, Sauce.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's felt like a subliminal diss, Toast. You better not be talking about me.
Oh, I have nothing to do with you.
Okay.
Zero.
All right.
Zero.
Okay.
I think it was about you.
Because in my write-up, I wrote 10 total runs for both sides scored thus far in this series, yet the game total's at 9.5 today.
That
I think
had
it's time
nothing
for a
to do with
breakthrough
you.
offensively.
I'll tell you after the show what that
Okay.
had to do.
Wow.
All right.
Toast just took
All
a
right,
shot
wow.
at you, bro.
I know,
Yeah.
a sneak this. I can't believe. No, I know he didn't mean that.
I think he was.
No, I'm going with the Orioles' first 5 team total over here, 2.5 plus 125. I know we've been catching some rough luck with guys just not being able to convert runners in scoring position lately with these first 5 team total overs. I don't really care. Plus money, Rodon, he looks solid thus far, 2.48 ERA, 4.4 barrel rate, 0.8 home run per 9. But that 4.73 xFIP suggests regression is coming, and I just don't think he's going to be able to maintain this low of an opposing batting average with his K percentage, not nearly as dominant as it once was. He's coming off 2 excellent performances against the Brewers and the A's. Great, but those are bottom 10 lineups against lefties thus far. This is a massive step up in competition. Let's not forget those first 3 road starts. He had the solid 3.95 ERA, but a 400 WOBA, 4.5 K to BB percentage, 1.9 WHIP, 5.7 xFIP. I mean, that is awful. He got very lucky to just have a 3.95 ERA. That was against the D-backs, Astros, and Blue Jays. Those are all top 12 offenses against lefties. He's not catching a break here. I mean, the Orioles are literally kicking starting lefties' teeth in right now. Last 6 to face him, 8.9 ERA, 3 home runs per 9, 1.8 WHIP. They cashed in 5 of them. Even the last 3 they saw at home, they've absolutely annihilated, and that's usually a concern for me. They're even killing lefties at home since April 13th, first in WRC+, first in ISO, second OBP against lefties. We got Ballpark projecting us for 2.5 through the first 5, and the books have Rodon's ERA line at 2.5, through slightly over, despite going under 5-6 starts. I'm going to take my chances at this plus price for regression finally to hit Rodon on the road.
Right.
One other thing too, Clay Holmes has went 2 of the last 3 days. They talked about how specifically last night that they were having trouble seeing Clay Holmes, so him not being available, I think, has to be huge. So, yeah, I'm really much higher on Baltimore.
Commish?
Yeah, man. Carlos Rodon has been off. I don't know if you can share your screen, Sauce, but if you go to his Baseball Savant page and you look at his fastball location, it is a red middle part of that plate. He's been terrible. Probably ever mentioned the schedule that he's faced so far. He's also just been extraordinarily lucky through his first few times through the order. If you look, 233 BABIP, 86.8% strand rate so far. League average BABIP is 50 points higher.
All right, so how do I get to that page? They can see
Scroll
it.
down
Just
just
scroll down
bit.
a little bit. Just scroll down.
Right there.
Right there.
Right. So
So
the
you
four
can-
seamer here?
And then
Yeah,
you would
so
zoom in on the top left thing.
So the red is it's a heat map. So like, where is he throwing that pitch most often? He's throwing it right down the pipe. That's where he's throwing. So,
Yeah, man, it's
like,
literally
this is
down
a
the middle of the
perfect
plate.
visual that you can see right here. He's not missing bats. He's not fooling anyone. He has no command. BABIP due for major regression on balls in play. Due for major regression with his strand rate. Again, it's a small sample size so far, so these things don't always correct themselves overnight. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but this is a good Baltimore lineup. Even guys like it on the surface, you look at Jorge Mateo in the 6 hole and you're like, that doesn't really inspire much confidence. He's been pretty good against lefties so far. James McCann, 8 hole, not great,
Especially
but
last year.
what do you say, Toast?
Especially last year too.
Yeah, I mean, like he's just not a guy that you think of. Like, you don't think that he can bang, but that's a pretty good option in the 6 hole. We know what the top 5 can do. The weather's really friendly, hitter friendly in Baltimore today. I think Baltimore is going to score runs at a minimum. I'm playing Baltimore money line here. I might jump on the team total as well.
All right.
And my thing to the over with everybody betting was towards the Yankees. Like, I felt like everybody thinks that the Yankees are just magically going to start scoring runs because they haven't, and Kyle Bradish hasn't pitched yet. And I don't feel like that's the case.
Prop Beaver,
Yeah.
someone's saying they can't find first 5 over 2.5 at plus money.
I mean, well, it depends on the book you have. Only 4 books have it. We got Hard Rocks, we got DraftKings, PointsBet, and then ESPN. So if it's not on those 4 books, it's not anywhere, unfortunately. But I mean, that's 4 books now that have it. So I do feel a lot better about giving it out than a year ago when there was only 2 books that gave it out.
Yeah, I'm seeing it plus money everywhere.
I
Point-
saw 124 on draft.
I was gonna say, I see it.
DraftKings plus 124, PointsBet plus 120, ESPN bet plus 115. So I don't see it in minus money anywhere. How about that? So you must be looking at the wrong bet.
You know what I'm actually going to bet here? And I'm going to bet a full unit on it is the Orioles team total first 7 is over 2.5.
Really? It was at 3.5 when I was looking at it at plus money. I wish I got the 2.5.
All right, let's go on to the
Yeah,
next
I'll
game.
live with that, man. 2.5 with this weather.
All right, Cubs
God.
are in Citi Field. Can't believe the way this Mets game ended last night, man.
Like, not even because of like I had a half unit on the Mets, but like that was a joke.
Yeah,
That was egregious. A literal robbery.
Like,
when it
I'm
went
not
to
even
the,
saying the Mets would have won. That would have sent it to extras or tied the game. That wouldn't even have won the game. I'm just saying that was a joke.
yeah, I still don't even understand what.
They were wrong.
Yeah, but they reviewed it.
I'm telling you, they were wrong. If you ask anybody else besides the freaking umpires who made that call, they were wrong. He felt like he didn't set up that way, but I mean, they literally sent a memo out to the league, and there's 3 pictures that show it, and that's exactly what he was doing. So whether no one knows the rule or only the umpires, because yeah, that was ridiculous.
I love these umpires, man. They kill it every night. They go out there. They put their best foot forward. It's a good thing we got these old guys.
Mendoza even said, "Dude, he's shuttling the plate. This is bullshit." The guy even said, "He goes, dude, I didn't make this call. This is New York. You got to take it up with them. I'm not disagreeing with you."
Yeah, damn. Well, I'm considering going right back to the Mets here. I think we were looking at the spreadsheet before we started Toast, and Cubs bats much better against lefties. Cubs bats really not that great on the road. So on the road against a righty would be the spot to fade the Cubs.
On top of the fact that you're getting Adrian Hauser, who's had back-to-back very bad starts, one of them against the Dodgers and one of them against the Cardinals. Keep in mind, the Cardinals were kind of hot a week ago. Yeah, I think that Adrian Hauser pitches decent here tonight. I mean, this Cubs offense really hasn't done anything since scoring those 7 runs in Baltimore. They've had a 0, a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1. So this Cubs offense isn't really doing anything. So yeah, I think Adrian Hauser pitches well. I think Ben Brown probably pitches well. Is Lindor in the lineup? I know that he left yesterday. No Lindor in the lineup today. Yep. So yeah. I think that I would. It's hard for me to lean Mets without Lindor, but I did play the under 8.5 last night. I sent it out. It's at 8 now. I would still play it. The bullpens are a little taxed, but I don't think that either one of these offenses are doing anything, especially on a getaway day. And like I said, with the Mets without Lindor, that's like one of their better bats that's heating up. So yeah, under and lean towards the Mets.
Under and a lean towards the Mets. Kamish, what do you think about the spot for Hauser?
I mean, I think you could throw Hauser in a 12U game and he would struggle.
He's pissed. He's utterly pissed.
You guys are such haters.
No, I mean, Kyle, he's truly one of the worst pitchers in the sport right now.
Oh, yeah,
he's
one of the worst in the sport. Yeah, I'm sure.
He's been lit up twice by the Dodgers and the Braves.
He doesn't have any case. He doesn't have any case stuff. He doesn't have a good ground ball rate. He's absolutely pissed.
Yeah, he's walked more batters than he struck out the last 30 days. Typically not good.
Against the Braves and the Dodgers?
Well, the Braves.
I mean, but you're not forcing walks. I mean, you can't force a 14% walk rate. You just can't.
Cool. You can't force a 6x fit.
Take the Cubs.
Can't force a 6x fit.
All right, cool. So Cubs money line for you guys?
Yeah, I'll bet the Cubs in this game.
It's a bad pick.
I don't know about that.
All right.
When more than 2 of us agree, it's always a bad pick. So.
True. That is true.
Yeah, very true.
All right, Prop Beaver wants the Cubs.
You'd have to tie me to the train tracks for me to bet this one. I'm not betting.
No, you want the Cubs. How's one of the worst pitchers in baseball? You want the Cubs.
Honestly, put up the Cubs for me because Adrian Hauser's a true abomination. So I'll take Ben Brown.
Yeah, we'll see. When Ben Brown gives up 7 earned runs in the first 3 innings, he might be like
6.52 xERA, 6 xFIP. Wow. He's got a 3.3 home run to fly ball rate too, Mr. Hauser. So he hasn't even been giving up home runs, and he's still that bad. That is how bad Adrian Hauser is.
There's been several times where you've been unnecessarily overly critical of Adrian Hauser. Show me on the doll where Adrian Hauser touched you, Prop Beaver. Because
he didn't touch me anywhere, and if he ever touches me, I'm taking it to court. He's pissed. Don't ever touch me with those grimy hands of his.
I can't.
Why am I offended by Adrian Hauser? I'm offended the Mets signed him and thought that was a good idea. One of the least exciting pitchers in all the sport.
We needed an innings eater, bro.
Well, you got him.
Yeah, we got one.
Unfortunately, he's going 4 1/3 every start.
Yeah, he's eating them up.
All right, next game. All right, so we got San Francisco, Boston, and Toast had mentioned he's got a bet in this game, so let's bring him up. You took Boston, you said?
Yeah, it's going to be hella public, and I don't care. Yesterday, I missed out on Boston and Cutter Crawford because I was just weirded out by that line, and they won that game pretty damn easily. I'm not going to let the same thing happen here tonight. I understand that Wisnowski can have a little bit of trouble at times, but he's been pretty damn solid for them, for the Red Sox. I mean, his last two starts or last two games against the Cubs and Pittsburgh and the Yankees, he all looked pretty damn well in all those. He gave up a run to Pittsburgh, but he has everybody in that Boston bullpen rested and ready to go behind him. And then Kyle Harrison in the Giants. Like, Kyle Harrison's one of those guys. He's only had a couple of pitches, and this Boston offense is really starting to heat up. 4 runs or more in 8 of their last 10 games. I just think that this is a really good spot for Boston here. That I know that it has been struggling at home at times, but they're starting to pick it up. They're much better now. What are they at home now? 8-7 now. When they were they were like way below 500. So they're starting to play well. 5 games in a row, whatever it is. So it's public. I don't love that, but I bet Boston last night at -105. It's like -120 in most spots now. So I'll take my chances.
But you know what? Didn't we say the same shit yesterday with Boston?
Yep.
We're like, hey, this is a price a little sketchy. It's square and public, but Boston. And
that's why I bet it today. Because I was like, I'm not going to miss out on a cheap price 2 days in a row because So if I lose, whatever.
I just lost recently trying to back Winkowski, though. I don't have a ton of faith in Winkowski. Prop Beaver, what do you think?
I mean, I like Kyle Harrison. I'm a Kyle Harrison guy. I don't think the Red Sox are very good against lefties. But with that being said, I mean, how do you back the Giants? Their lineup can't hit. They can't score more than 3 runs. They're physically incapable of doing so. And as good as Kyle Harrison is, I mean, he has allowed, I believe, 3+ runs in most of his starts. I mean, even if it is over 6 or 7 innings, I mean, I think you have to take Boston here. It's not going to make my ticket. I don't love it, but I think that's the way you have to go here. Simply put, the Giants just cannot score. Until they show me they have any offensive capability, you just can't back that team, no matter who's on the mound, really. I mean, Winkowski, he may have looked bad, I guess, whatever start you backed him, but I mean, looked fine against Chicago, looked fine against Pittsburgh. I mean, he's got the pitching coaching that whatever Boston brought in this season that has made everybody else so much better. Well, they made him so much better as well. So,
I think. So wait, he was decent in that Cubs game? I'm pretty sure.
He's been decent 2 starts in a row. I mean, he only went 3 innings.
Gave up 3 hits, didn't give up a run.
So my bad. I was unfairly. Wait a second. When did I back him and he lost? Huh.
You might have backed him. You might have backed the Red Sox, and he was a reliever. And I know what you're talking about. He came in as a reliever against the Orioles, and he allowed 9 hits and 4 runs. And I believe that's when I cashed my first 5 money line, and you lost the full game because he came in and screwed it up for you.
Maybe I'll have to go and look.
Did you bet them? Didn't he give up a grand slam earlier in the year against LA or something too? Is that the same guy?
No, but they won that game. Whatever.
Okay.
It's not important. But Winkowski definitely screwed me at one point this year.
He's definitely.
Commish, what are your thoughts on Winkowski here?
Winkowski threw 38.5% first pitch strikes in his last start. Pretty bad. League average, I mean, you're looking for about 65% in that category. His zone contact rate, his last 2 times out as well, has been atrocious, 93.5%. He's just not missing any bats. The Giants are not an offense that is particularly scary, but Winkowski's not a guy that I'm eager to back in any way, shape, or form. He has been getting a decent amount of ground balls this year, and that's something that has been consistent throughout his career. So I think as long as they continue to limit him to 12, 13 batters, I think it's not the worst idea in the world. Like, the Red Sox know what he is. They're not sitting here trying to get 5-6 innings out of him. Winkowski was pretty vocal about wanting to be in the rotation to start the year, and the Red Sox were pretty vocal back, saying absolutely not. Obviously, injuries can change things a little bit. They're giving him 3 innings. He went 3 1/3 against the Pirates, 3 against the Cubs. He's probably good for 3 today. This is a guy who can probably get through a lineup one time without getting shelled, and then you just have to trust Boston to score a little bit today, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know much about the long relievers for Boston, but they do have a pretty well rested pen, the Red Sox, which should come come in handy.
That's what I like about that. And then the fact that I understand that Duvall and the Rogers twins are fine, but Boston's seen all the middle relief guys in the last 2 days for San Francisco. So I still think that's an edge towards Boston.
So, Kamish, if you were to place a bet in this game, what would it be?
Oh. If I had to place a bet, like tied to the tracks, like probably said,
Gun to your testes.
In that situation, in that really unfortunate situation, I would probably bet the Red Sox full game. I would try to isolate the Giants to like a first 5 or a first 3 situation if I was going that way. But if you're betting the full game, I'd probably bet the Red Sox.
I gotta ask, how with the Giants lineup is this total at 9.5?
I have no idea. I was thinking that same thing.
So somebody's got to get up here. I mean, that's why I saw making the ticket. I don't know what the hell is going on with this game.
This is called playing a fishy line. I'd go over.
Okay.
I'm not gonna bet it. But that's if you force me to bet this game, I'd say go over because they have it at 9.5 for some reason. I don't know. I'm not. I was on the Red Sox yesterday. And, nah. Next up, Washington, Texas.
Let's go Nats.
I have a pick in this one, Prop Beaver.
Me too. I sent it out last night.
So
what's your pick?
I like the under.
I'll take that.
So we looked at this one, the spreadsheets before the game. Eovaldi should absolutely deal here. He's been much better at home. The Nats have been good at the road. The Nationals have been a good lineup on the road, but they've been much better against left-handed pitching recently. Their numbers against righties aren't great. And Eovaldi, as we know, is a guy you can rely on. He's maybe not like a top 5 starter in the MLB, but he's one of the more elite starting pitchers. I like the spot for Eovaldi. I think he pitches well. And on the other side, this is supposed to say Mitchell Parker, not B. Parker.
Ben Parker? Like, what the fuck?
Let's just fix that right now before people like start tuning in thinking we're idiots. So Mitchell Parker, he had one bad start against the Marlins, but his other 2 starts, he looked great. And this is not a Texas lineup that's been getting to left-handed pitching. It's not a Texas lineup that's been hitting at home like they were last year. This lineup's pretty mediocre right now. So Mitchell Parker, who pitched really well against, I think, the Dodgers, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dodgers.
And
the
Astros.
And the Astros. Well,
another team that smashes left-handed.
Right. So Mitchell Parker, this kid pitched really well against those 2 teams and then had a bad start against the Marlins. So I think it's a prime for a bounce back spot for him. Also, neither of these lineups good at hitting bullpens. They're both in the bottom 6, 7 in the MLB. So I think all signs point to an under here. It's a nice sharp number down at 8. I like the under. Prop Beaver?
The only way I would lean in this game is Mitchell Parker over K's. I mean, I completely overthought the Mackenzie Gore thing. I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, but the Rangers changed up their lineup against lefties to have some less K-heavy guys in it. Mackenzie Gore still absolutely whipped through that lineup. I mean, lefties are just doing damage against the Rangers right now in the K department. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of 8 lefties to face the Rangers thus far have hit this number. And 6 of those 8 hit 6+. So they're one of the highest teams in terms of K percentage against lefties right now. It's a day game. I believe that Jonah Heim went back-to-back days, so you're also likely going to get Andrew Knizer in the lineup, who has a significantly higher K percentage, especially against lefties. On top of that, Jim Wolf is going to be the umpire here, and he tends to lean a bit more pitcher-friendly. So that's what I would lean. The only thing throwing me off is this price. I don't understand this price at all. I mean, 4Ks at LA, 8Ks against Houston, and then 2 against Miami. And you're putting at 4.5 plus 130 in some spots for the over. I mean, that's just nonsensical to me. So I don't know, but that's the only way I lean in this game. Mitchell Parker there. Maybe he gets lit up. I have been leaning towards the fact that Rangers will be heating up against lefties soon. Maybe that's the case, but you can still get Ks and get lit up. So that's where I lean.
Kamish?
Jim Wolf, I have I have him as one of the 5 most pitcher-friendly umpires in Major League Baseball. So definitely a huge bump right there. I think Parker's at 4.5 because he just hasn't proven a lot yet. He's made 3 starts. The Dodgers.
Wait, you said pitcher friendly ump.
Yeah, like so good for strikeouts.
Yeah,
if
so
you're betting
good for the under.
Good for the under like runs. Yes.
Okay. Good.
And but he's just not generating many swinging strikes with the fastball. I know he pitched well against Houston. I truly cannot explain that. Only 57.5 first pitch strike rate last game. 2 games out of 3 with a sub 10 swinging strike rate. One of those was against the Dodgers. Granted, I think that's why it's at 4.5. But again, I think if you like the spot, you like the spot. It's plus 122. I'm not the biggest Mitchell Parker fan in the world. I think I don't love this guy. Is all I'll say. He's thrown the ball well so far, but I think 5 Ks is a reasonable spot. Especially a lot of teams when you have day games, you don't take batting practice when you show up to the ballpark. Day game after a night game, especially, guys are they're granted a little bit more leniency getting to the ballpark a little bit later. I think this is a decent spot for Parker. I was initially going to bet Texas minus 1.5 here, and I just can't get there. I don't have a bet in this game. This is a really gross slate in my opinion, so I don't have a bet here. But I think I might just tell you prop Beaver on the Parker over 4.5.
I don't know if I get to the window though. I'm so tempted, but I don't know if I get there. Ugh.
No Dansby Swanson for the Cubs.
Yes, that is pretty big.
Toast, you said you had a bet in this game?
Yeah, Nats money line plus 175. Sent it out last night to the clients. I actually really like this spot for the Nats. This Mitchell Parker against Nate Eovaldi. That's why we're getting this price the way it is. But this is a pure play on the number for me. Texas isn't even playing 500 baseball over their last 20 games. The Nats are 12-9 their last 22. 3 of those 9 losses were against the Dodgers. The other one was against Justin Verlander. The fact of the matter is the Nats are playing really good. They've been playing good for a while, and they continue to win series. And I think they win another one here today. Mitchell Parker looked fine against the Dodgers. He looked really good against the Astros, a team that really smashed his left-handed pitching, and then he had a little bit of a down outing against the Marlins. I can handle that against this Texas Rangers team that I know that on paper looks really good, but they're not the same team as before. Jonah Heim is in the lineup today, unfortunately. He's a lefty killer. I thought the same thing. I thought I might get him out of there, but regardless, has Eovaldi been really good? Yes. Like, there's no question about that. His 2 home starts against Oakland and Cincinnati, very good. Didn't look so much better on the road, but regardless, this Washington team is playing too good right now. And if you're going to give me plus 175, I had to take it here. Everybody that in the Washington bullpen I want is rested and ready to go. I mean, some of them went yesterday, but honestly, they've been pitching tax for a while and they've been pitching out of their mind. So yeah, if you're going to give me a huge plus price with this Nationals team that continues to win and proves that they win against a Rangers team that's not even playing 500 baseball this year. I'm sorry, they're 1 game over 500 now, but over their last 20, they're 10-10. Yeah, I'll take the Nats.
Ballsy play there. And Mitchell Morber wants to know if this is your pick for the up to early cash out promo.
Yes. I literally say yes. I say yes to everything.
56%, 26% Washington. He was like this. He was like this. Yes. Let's move on to the last baseball game on the board here.
It's so funny too because Toast it's like 3 a.m. It feels like for Toast when he does these shows. So like when he's getting these early questions, this is the first thing he's dealing with to start his day.
I literally roll out of bed to my computer. Literally.
You roll out of bed, Toast. Who you like for the up to?
Pretty much.
All right. Cleveland, Houston, final baseball game, and then we'll get to the NBA right after this. We'll bring ChrisBeCappinn on.
Called this game to a T.
Someone said the show's almost over. Now we got NBA after this. I got ChrisBeCappinn coming on to do the NBA right after this. All right. Cleveland on the road in Houston. And, I mean, how many times auto fade Houston? It's been, I mean, I made a ton.
I can't get there today.
Really?
I like the Astros today.
Oh, my. Let's bring Prop Beaver up here.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do first.
I want to show you a number, though. Okay. You can see the screen, right?
The ROI.
Yeah, do you notice that they're minus 35.4% ROI?
Okay, but
have you ever heard of regression to the mean?
I was going to say, let's take a look at
ROI means return on investment.
Right. So you're telling me that regression to the mean, you could never bet them ever again then. That's not what you're saying.
I mean, they're done for the season, Toast. You can't bet them. They're down 35%. It only has to get worse, right?
Throw on my
works.
Throw on my band list.
Well, who was that in reference to?
I don't know.
I
People
don't
who
think
say
anybody
that
on the
shit.
show has a band list. Yeah.
Throw my bad
Houston's trash. Bring out
Throw
the
my
trash
bad list.
cans. Ugh.
So what is my reasoning here? The Guardians just aren't very good against right-handed pitching right now. I mean, it's pretty clear. I mean, if we're just looking, 2 runs off of the decrepit Verlander. The only guy they really got to recently is Hunter Brown, who, for the life of me, I mean, I wish the best for you, Hunter. You suck right now. I don't know what is wrong with this kid. He's ass right now. So take him out of there. We got 2 or less runs from Verlander, Elder, Morton, Criswell, Houck. I mean, guys are absolutely dealing against this Cleveland Guardians team right now. And while Arrighetti on the surface, I mean, you look, 10.97 ERA. That is absolutely horrid. Most of that damage came from that KC game. He hasn't been going deep into these games, I must say. It hasn't been very pretty, but he's been significantly better against lefties. The WOBA is over 130 points better against lefties. The whip is significantly better. The K to BB percentage is better. The FIP is 2.5 points better against lefties. And this is a Guardians lineup that is almost entirely lefties. On top of that, I mean, Arrighetti, if you just look at the peripherals, everything in terms of expected numbers, he's got a 10.97 ERA, 4.36 xERA, 3.79 FIP, 4.14 xFIP. The dude's just been getting extremely unlucky thus far. This could be a spot for regression. And then on the other side, you got Logan Allen, who I'm just not the biggest Logan Allen guy. I mean, sure, he puts up some solid results. He's pretty steady, but I just don't think he's a very good pitcher. And while the Houston bats haven't been that great against lefties lately, most of those have been on the road. While you don't want to back Houston at home against righties, typically, it's the reverse when you look at lefties. This team at home against lefties the past 3 seasons has been one of, if not the best lineup in baseball. Now going to see Logan Allen. They have his earned run line at 3.5. I know that hasn't meant anything lately after what Seth Lugo did yesterday, but they're still signifying that he's going to get hit up here. And then when it gets to the bullpens, this is why I was kind of waiting to make a decision on what part of the game I'm going to play. I wanted to see what Toast thought on it because he's kind of my bullpen connoisseur along with me, I guess, with Toast. I guess with Mr. Commish. But this Guardians bullpen is like taxed all hell, right? I mean, we got Clase, who's gone the past 4 or 5 days. Barlow's gone the last 4 or 5 days. Heron went back-to-back days. Cade Smith went back-to-back days. Gaddis has gone the last 3 or 5 days. Sandlin's gone the last 3 or 5 days. I mean, Jesus H. Christ, as bad as the Houston Astros bullpen is, at least they're not in that spot. I mean, sure, Presley's out for this one. Montero's out for this one, but they're going to have Hader. They're going to have Abreu. They're going to have Martinez, Scott, Belak. Yeah. But I mean, the point is they're going
to have to use them.
Yeah, but the point is they're going to have arms that are well-rested, way more well-rested than the Guardians.
Right,
the Astros bullpen is performing significantly better as of late. I think the side is Houston, right, guys?
I mean, this is crazy. I'm looking at
the
Cleveland's
side is
bullpen.
Houston. Let's get into this. So Cleveland has played 4 straight extra inning games in a row. That's why their bullpen looks the way it does. I will say that Clase has won. I mean, it's so hard because I don't know what's his face? What's his name?
Stephen Vogt.
Yeah, Stephen Vogt is going to do as far in his philosophies, but it's hard to believe Clase goes 5 out of 6 days. Even if he only pitched 19 pitches in the last 3 days, he hasn't went over 15 in all 4 outings. Hard to see he goes 4 of 5. I mean, Gaddis is the same way. It's just ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that, Logan Allen, he hasn't even shown me a shred that he can pitch well this season. I mean, Atlanta, Oakland, Yankees, White Sox. He hasn't pitched well at all. Oh, I'm sorry. He pitched well against Seattle. I wonder what time that was. What time of game that was? Let's check it out. Oh, would you look at that? 1:10 local time. So it was during the day. Would you look at that? So, shocker right there. So,
he also got out to a 5-0 lead in that game because that was the day that Kirby got BABIP to death.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about that last night.
He got BABIP to death. He got robbed.
He did, bro. He did. But when a pitcher gets out to an early lead like that, they can be a lot more aggressive.
Yeah. Okay, so that even makes even more sense. Well, plus Seattle during the day, we've already established that. So yeah, it'd be Houston for me. I'm fine with the Houston bullpen. You have Hader, who's obviously been bad. Abreu is good. I would play Houston here. I haven't played it yet. I was actually waiting to see what it would look like.
With that Cleveland bullpen, I trust Prop Beaver's judgment here. We've been auto-fading Houston. I think this is the time to dip our toes into the pool.
I was the same feel. Auto fade Houston. I was like, I think I might be on Cleveland no matter what. And then the more I looked at it, I was like, there's no possible way. There's no way I can make an argument for this.
I think this is a Stroh spot.
Yeah, me, I agreed. And the line went down from last night. I'm happy.
Let's see if Kamish agrees with us.
Yeah, so Toast mentioned the 4 consecutive extra inning games. It's the first time in 114 years that this has happened to Cleveland.
Wow.
So just to give some context of how rare this is, it's pretty rare. There's no way Clase pitches today if the Guardians have any.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, there's no possible way.
Yeah, he also throws to it. Like, you can't get a guy like that hot 5 times in 6 days. I don't care if he threw 3 pitches. You're still throwing 15, 20 in the bullpen to get loose.
I'm not
so
crazy.
There's no chance in my mind that he's coming back. Gaddis could probably pitch, but you probably don't want to use him. Because, like you said, it'd be 4th time in 6 days for him. Barlow can't pitch. Sandlin's not rested. Herron would be 3 times in 3 days. Cade Smith would be 4 times in 5 days, 3 days in a row. So you're really going to Tyler Beatty? Like, that's your backup plan here?
Hasn't he been awful this season?
Whoa, there's no reason to do that.
This isn't Bybee. This is Beatty.
Oh, I thought
your boy.
My
Beatty,
bad.
yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. but I waited all morning to see if they would call anybody up, and they haven't yet. So I really don't know what Cleveland's plan is after Logan Allen. I mean, Major League Baseball doesn't have a mercy rule. You got to play at least 8 innings. I really have no idea how Cleveland survives this from a pitching standpoint unless Logan Allen gives them 6 innings. I think they're going to try to get everything they can out of Logan Allen. It's worth noting Houston's one of the most aggressive teams in baseball. They don't see a lot of pitches. Logan Allen over 15.5 outs is at plus money. It doesn't feel good at all. Logan Allen's not a good pitcher. He probably won't pitch well today. They might just leave him out there as a sacrificial lamb to get through 16, 17, 18 outs if he can.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do
outs is the move.
Yeah, so I'm going to play Houston on the run line at
you're going to lay the
over.
Wait, hold on. You're going to lay the 1.5?
Yeah, I'm going to play them both because that Houston run line's at plus 150-ish. And if you look at it, Houston doesn't have a game tomorrow. Cleveland has to go fly to LA tomorrow. So if Cleveland gets down early in this game, they might just throw in the white towel and they might send Pedro Avila out there and Beatty out the rest of the game to save them for this next series. So yeah, I'll be sprinkling a little bit of both.
Yeah, then Houston might be a top bet for me today, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm feeling.
I'll rock with Houston too. All right, let's get ChrisBeCappinn in here, and then I'll do the community parlay. Or did you want to do a underdog prop, Beaver?
I mean, I'd have to make it on the fly.
Yeah,
right
and there's
now.
only 6 games. Screw it.
Yeah. All right. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you later. I guess, right? We're all dipping now.
You guys should bounce.
All right.
We're going
Cool.
NBA.
See you guys.
Later.
Best of luck.
Later. All right, let's get Chris in here and talk some basketball. All right, so it looks like Giannis and Lillard trending towards playing. Let's get some NBA stuff up here. Still says questionable. Oh, the report is Giannis could return. See, nothing's definitive. Yeah, well, that was, if you watch the video I uploaded last night, that's basically what I said. I was like, I'm taking the Bucks at 8.5, and if Giannis and Lillard end up playing and the line drops, awesome. We're holding a bunch of value, and if they don't play, I still think we got a shot at winning the bet. So that was my almost word for what I said last night. So if they end up playing, I'll look like the man. Here's Chris now. What the heck? There we go. Now we're good to go. What's up, man?
What up?
Not much. Giannis and Lillard on track to try and play, whatever that means.
Saw that.
So I'm wondering what I should set this poll at. Is it still 8?
It's 5.5 on DraftKings right now. It's come down a lot.
Yeah, but I don't even think they know if they're definitely playing yet.
They don't know that, this is the injury report manipulation game of the day. You really gotta wait and figure it out if you want to, be smart about it. Unless you want to just take the Bucks plus the points and you already got in.
Well, last night I said Bucks plus 8.5. I actually forgot to bet it, but I put it on YouTube, so hopefully some people did get it in. But to be honest, I like the Bucks to win the game. So
wow, okay.
Yeah, I came to like a realization last night when I was looking at this series, and I think the realization that I needed to come to was that my entire view of this series in particular was just wrong. It was just incorrect. How many times did you guys hear me say, how are the Bucks going to score on the Pacers? They play great defense against the three-point shot, and they have nobody to attack the rim. I kept hammering that home because that's what I thought the numbers were showing from the regular season. That's not how this series is going at all. In fact, the Bucks have been one of the most efficient offensive teams in the playoffs so far this year. We just saw in Game 4 and Game 5, both games without Giannis and without Lillard, the Bucks shot 51% and 52% from the floor. It's been one of the most efficient offenses in the playoffs, and they're doing it without their stars. So my thought that the Bucks offense was going to have trouble against the Pacers defense because they couldn't get to the basket, it's just wrong. I was wrong with that view. Now, what the Bucks are doing, and where Doc Rivers and the veteran players on the Bucks deserve some credit. I know Doc Rivers has caught a lot of hate this year, and maybe some of it's deserving. I don't know. But what they have done to this Pacers offense is, all right, so during the regular season, the Pacers average 102.2 possessions per game, third most in the NBA. We know how the Pacers want to play. 100 miles an hour, get up and down the floor. In this series, just 92.2 possessions per game. Fast break points go from 17.7 points per game in the fast break in the regular season down to 10. Points off turnovers from 17.1 down to 10. So you got the Pacers. We know what the Pacers are like. They run a ton of fast breaks. They get out in transition. In this year's playoffs, the Indiana Pacers are 19th of all teams in the postseason. The Pacers are 19th in points off turnovers. Only the New Orleans Pelicans have less. So we got to give some credit to Doc Rivers and these Bucks veterans players. They're in these Bucks veteran players. They're not letting Indiana beat Indiana at all. Now they're still up 3-2 in the series, but I think my entire view of this series was wrong. And at plus, this graphic says 8.5. If I'm getting a significant number, I'm taking the Bucks. I honestly think the Bucks win. So I'm gonna be on Milwaukee in this one. Chris?
Yeah, I'm not taking the side, Kyle, but you make some very valid points. I would go on the other side and say, I didn't bet it though. I bet the team total over. I did place this bet already, and I wish I probably would have waited because I do see the number dropping already. It was 110.5 this morning when I did my show, and that's what I kind of gave out. But then by the time I was able to send it out, the line actually started creeping up to 9, and the team total went up to 111.5. So I bet it at 111.5, and now with the Giannis and Dame news, it's come back down to 110.5 again. Even though the full game total is going up, which makes sense, right? Because the Bucks are expected to score more points now that Giannis and Dame are going to play, or you potentially going to play. No idea. My question for you, Kyle, when I'm done is: does that news about Dame and Giannis potentially coming back change your viewpoint at all? But before I get there, this is why I took the Pacers team total over, because I do think that they win the game, Kyle. I think the Pacers win the game. I'm not. Kyle Skee talks about this a lot. Not into laying a lot of lines with the Pacers just because their defense has been so bad. And I know Ronald made the point about the Bucks team total, even on the road, even at home in Game 5, and they did end up going over. But looking at the Pacers team total, Kyle, in 13 games as road dogs this season, Milwaukee allowed 121 points per game on average. 8 of their 13 opponents went over their team total. And the last 7 actually cashed in a row, including the Pacers in back-to-back games. Well, in 2 games this series. And if Giannis doesn't play, all 6 of their games as road dogs without Giannis, every team went over their team total. So I think if you play the Pacers, you're expecting them to score. You're not expecting them to win a dogfight type of game, not any kind of rock fight. And I look at the Pacers side, they've actually cleared their team total in 6 straight games and 8 of their last 10 when they've won as a home favorite as well. Like I said, I do expect them to win. 2 times this series, they've had 121 and 126 points in these low totals, right? So it's only been like 4 times the Pacers have had a total under 230 at home this season. And they're 3-1 to the over on their team total in those 4 lowest totals on the season as well. I also looked at just the full game over. Pacers 6-0 to the over in their last 6 games as home favorites. And then the Bucks 4-1 to the over in their last 5 as road dogs as well. So I like the over, but I officially played the team total over in this spot here. And I'll take the Pacers to bounce back in this spot. They were thoroughly outplayed in their last game. And you hear Tyrese Halliburton come out and talk about it, Kyle. He said they were desperate. They were playing harder than us, as they should have been. And at the end of the day, they outcompeted us. They played harder. They played better. They kind of just dominated us in every facet of the game. We've got to be much better. It starts with me in that first group, but we've just got to be better. I don't think the Pacers, after losing last game, Kyle, I don't think they want to go back to Milwaukee because you don't want to have to win a game.
I don't think they're going to have a choice.
You don't think they have a choice? So I think that they do have a choice here. You just need, you need to slow down Bobby Portis, who did have a career high 29 points. So not career high, but a playoff career high 29 points. Beasley shot 4 for 6 from the 3-point line. I don't agree with you, Kyle, and that the Pacers 3-point defense is suddenly just falling off a cliff. So I think some regression for Beasley here. And Siakam, I think he gets going again. He averaged 36.5 in the first 2 games, only 14 since then in the last 3. So I think we see some regression there. Also, Kyle, Pacers, they scored 92 points in the last game. It was only the second time held under 100 points this season. They finished 2-0 straight up and against the spread after those 2 games with a 19-point win against my Lakers and a 17-point loss against the Bucks in game 2 after they kind of wet the bed in game 1. So, I like the Pacers team total over here. I'm staying off the spread, though, because I'm just not trusting them. And like you said, we don't know if Giannis and Dame are going to play in this game yet or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where I kind of would just wait, and would almost be awesome if Giannis and Dame were ruled out and this number shoots back up to 9.5 and I can grab it there. But yeah, the Bucks offense has made me a believer. And if you look at the games here in this series, hold on one sec. That the one game that's concerning would be the game where the Pacers won 126-113, right? Let me pull it up so I can see which game that was. I think it was 3. No, that was 4. So the 126-113 game, and the Pacers shot 52% from 3 in that game. That's not going to happen. It's I haven't seen enough from this series to warrant a big point spread on either side. We've seen the Pacers win one game decisively. We also saw the Bucks beat the shit out of the Pacers in a game, and then you have the overtime game. That's a coin flip. I don't think either team should be laying this big of a number. So
I agree. I think that's fair. I definitely think that's fair, Kyle. So what do you think about the Bucks team total? It's only 105.5, and you talk about their offense being so good. I know you, Capper, was on it in Game 5. What do you think about that?
Well, about what?
The team total over 105.5. If the Bucks win, it's going to be because they score, right?
Yeah, I guess it's a tough call. I mean, how can you argue with the field goal percentage in the last 2 games? The Bucks are just hitting their shots. The Pacers can't stop the Bucks offense even without their 2 stars. It's crazy. I mean, and it's not that I think the Pacers 3-point defense has disappeared, because the Bucks aren't really lighting them up from 3, but they're just everything inside the 3-point line is falling for the Bucks. And if you look at the Pacers season, that's the story. They can't stop anybody inside the 3-point line. And if guys like Bobby Portis and Middleton are going to get busy and shoot that 16-footer on a Pacers team that hasn't been able to stop it all year, how could I lay a big number to that? So, not to mention just playoff experience. I mean, there's huge discrepancy in that department. So I'm on Milwaukee.
That's fair.
I also liked how now the poll was 50%, 37% Bucks, but I also thought all the comments coming in, pretty much everyone was Pacers, from what I could see. There wasn't many people supporting my Bucks pick, which I don't know, might make me feel a little better. But a lot of people clicked the Bucks in the poll. So, Knicks Sixers, let's talk about it. Did you watch the video I uploaded last night, Chris?
I watched it this morning just because I wanted to know what you were going to say before we did the show.
Yeah. So, yeah, this sucks. This is another episode of Kyle posting a bet that he hopes he loses. But I don't see I still have been saying, I've said this multiple times now, I think the Sixers have been overall the better team in this series. Now, it's close. I'm not saying the Sixers are better than the Knicks, but in this series, I think Philly has been the better team here. This night's short line, like 3 and an elimination game. There really wasn't a single game this year where I thought, oh, the Knicks were the better team tonight. I mean, all of the Knicks wins were coin flip games that I happened to be on the right side of. I'm happy about it. I'm a Knicks fan. But the only game that we saw where the Knicks were, where one team was decisively better than the other team was Game 3 in Philly. The Sixers won that game decisively. They beat the Knicks Game 3 in Philly. And then Game 4 in Philly, Embiid and Maxey were terribly inefficient on the offensive side of the ball. Knicks only won that game by 5 points. If Embiid and Maxey have normal games, then Philadelphia would have won Game 4 comfortably, just like they won Game 3 comfortably. So I expect this game to look a lot like Game 3. Sixers should win by in between 10 and 15, control the whole game. And then Game 7, that's where we go back to the well. Don't worry, Knicks fans. 7, that's us. Game 7. So I'm betting the Sixers here, and then when it goes back to New York at 7, I'll be back with my guys to close it out.
Jesus, Cal. 10 to 15 points for you guys losing
It's
tonight?
going to look a lot like Game 3.
Oh, wow. Okay. I said on my video earlier, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I think you just watch the first 3 quarters, and then whatever team you like the most, you just bet them whatever the spread is. Because literally what we've seen is like we see complete outliers in the fourth quarter of even the final 2 minutes. It was Maxey in Game 5 who just wouldn't let the city of Philadelphia down, I guess, here. He had 17 points in the fourth quarter, shot 6 for 7 from the field and 4 for 4 from the 3-point line. You also got a really good effort from Tobias Harris. He had 19 points and I think like 10 or 11 rebounds. Tobias Harris has been missing this whole entire series. His points per is like down to 10.5, and he's been under in every single game outside of the Game 5. And I made all the points for the Knicks. I'm sorry, I made all the points. Yeah, I made all the points for the Knicks when we did the show. What was that, Kyle? On Tuesday, and I could see it kind of happening again, either side, coin flip type of game. I'm staying off of it. If I play it, it'll be live. But I did want to share some trends just for the viewers and maybe something for you to take into consideration as well. So since 2018, home favorites that are down 2-3 in Game 6s are just 3-8 straight up and against the spread. That does not bode well for the Philadelphia 76ers here. Also, since 2018, I looked at home favorites when the line indicates that they're just 3-point favorites, so super short games. Same exact scenario. Well, this was actually since 2012, so I went farther back. 4-10 straight up and against the spread. So if it's a very small number, that road team, of course, has a legit chance to win the game. And I'm just not sure what happens here from a role player perspective. I think Embiid is going to be good. I think Max is going to be good. I know that I'm expecting Jalen Brunson to be good, but what help does he get? I think your boy Dante DiVincenzo went like 1 for 7 in game number 5 on Wednesday or Tuesday. So I'm just not sure who's going to step up, but I do expect some of those guys to step up here tonight, and I have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm not even going. I told my viewers earlier, I'm like, I know this is a sports gambling. I'm not going to sell you guys on something that I don't believe in. I don't believe in either one. I think either one of these teams can win.
Well, something else that needs to be mentioned. We got Joel Embiid coming off back-to-back bad games, and this is not dating back not just this series. Last couple of years, the Knicks really struggle with Embiid. He is a matchup problem for New York. He puts up big numbers against the Knicks, and we saw it the first 3 games of the series. Specifically, actually all 3. First 3 games of the series, it was pretty evident when Joel Embiid was on the floor, the Philadelphia is better than New York during those minutes. Now we got Embiid coming off back-to-back games, and I think people are forgetting a little bit, slip their mind a little bit about the mismatch. And if Embiid comes out and has a good game, it might, honestly, the Sixers could win comfortably. Don't worry, though. Embiid's banged up. And if it comes back to 7 in New York, he doesn't want the noise that's going to be coming down on that court in Madison Square Garden. It's going to be electric. I honestly might have to go if that happens. But I will be taking the Knicks in Game 7 blind if I win this bet. So I am on Philly, and hopefully I lose this one, and we don't even have to have the Game 7 conversation. So that's the plan.
I sent you. I don't know if you can pull it up, but I sent you something on Twitter. I totally forgot to mention this. It was the numbers to kind of back what you were saying per cleaning the glass with Embiid on the floor and off the floor. And the only reason I wanted to point it out is because I think the first quarter could be in play here. Man, you talk about a significant advantage. I thought this was a typo. Like I was like, maybe they just entered this stuff wrong. But in the 91 possessions without Joel Embiid on the floor, they are minus 47.3 in point differential. I just thought in points scored per 100 possessions. I thought that was pretty insane. They're plus 9.7 in point differential with him on the floor. I mean, the offensive and defensive ratings just go through the roof, which kind of goes to your point, Kyle. I think the Knicks are a plus 7 or plus 8 in the first quarter now. And then, of course, I'm sorry, the Philadelphia 76ers are. And then on the opposite side, the Knicks are dominating the second quarters, as you kind of talked about a couple weeks ago. So I don't know how big that, if people can look at that, but I shared that on Twitter.
I can make it the full screen for a second so they can see.
Yeah.
So you can see.
It's just
for those of you that aren't familiar with cleaning the glass. Orange means close to 100 percentile. So 100 would be a perfect rating there, and a 0 blue would be terrible. So it's like night and day difference. The Sixers by far the better team when Embiid's on the floor. And he's got coming off back-to-back games, playing a team that he's historically had success against. So I think Embiid goes off. I know everyone's talking about Maxey. I think it's Embiid night tonight. So maybe Embiid first quarter points, Embiid overs. That's where I'd look. If you're a psychopath that builds those same game parlays, that's where I'd look. It's Embiid night. But don't worry, Game 7 is New York night. Not anybody in particular. It's New York night. That we'll get ours. So let's do a community parlay real quick. All right, so Yankees, Orioles. We're at baseball too. So they like the Orioles. No, they like the Yankees there. Cubs, Mets. They like the Cubs. Giants, Red Sox. They like the Red Sox. And Nationals, Rangers. They like the Nationals. You guys love betting the Nats. All right. First and second place making the community parlay. While they're voting, you want to tell them where they can find your stuff, even though I'm sure everyone here already knows you. But
yeah, there's been a lot of Sauce Network community people in the chat in the morning, which is super cool. Seeing your community show up, Kyle. But yeah, all my work can be found on Twitter or on YouTube at ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's. I do a daily morning show most of the time about 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, that's where you guys can find all my work. Appreciate you for having me on as always.
Gab, we didn't talk about it yet. But we're gonna figure it out. You were talking about bringing Chris on to do the WNBA this summer because I don't know shit about WNBA. But it's
preseason starts on Friday, I think. I think it's on Friday. It's gonna be. I'm super excited, man.
Well, I definitely want to. I think there's gonna be a lot of interest in the WNBA this year, and I don't want to be the only sports network that can't provide that for my people. Like I personally don't. I'm doing baseball at that time, but doesn't mean I can't figure out a way to provide some good WNBA. Figure it out. But yeah, I want to see what your schedule is for the summer and see if we can make some show work. All right, so we have Red Sox and Yankees are the first 2 picks of the community parlay, and then we have they like the Guardians, and then they like the who won the poll? Bucks won the poll. And then they like the Sixers. All right. I'm going to add the Pacers money line too because people were talking about that. So first and second place make the finish out the community parlay. Said no one's going to give a shit about WNBA. I don't know. There's a lot of interest, I think, this year. With all the new personalities in there, if there's one thing that that I guess this year showed us is people love personalities, and they did a great job in the women's tournament of promoting their superstars. Where, I mean, we watched here. I don't know anything about women's basketball, and we were here at the office watching the UConn game because of Paige Beckers. They did a great job with that. So, and I'm hearing a lot of talk about the WNBA. I think it's going to do well this year.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely second that. RC and Skee also cap it as well. For viewers, they actually put me on. Last year was just my first year actually capping it and watching it. So yeah, super cool.
Oh, you mean UCapper, aka I'm not available? It's his
Yeah,
nickname.
Mr. Unavailable. Yeah,
Mr. Unavailable. All right,
my guy, I love RC.
So it's Sixers and Guardians. That's the community parlay today. Red Sox money line, Yankees money line, Guardians money line, and Sixers money line. Can someone in the comments throw out odds, please? Usually they're
Look
on.
at it real quick. I was gonna say I can look it up too.
Red Sox, Yankees, Guardians, Sixers. So someone said Sixers owners bought 2,000 seats to kick out Knicks fans.
I heard that's. I think that's true. Yeah, like I saw somebody sent that to me. Somebody DM me that. All right, who are we looking for again? You said so
Red Sox, Yankees, Guardians, Sixers.
Guardians, Sixers. Plus 667 on FanDuel.
Plus 667. All right, compared to the recent parlays, that's actually somewhat.
Hold
recent.
on. Why did the odds just change? Never mind. One of them hadn't calculated. It's plus 1165.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's completely wrong. The odds hadn't calculated. Plus 1165.
So it is Red Sox, Yankees, Guardians, Sixers plus 1165. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, so normal time tomorrow in the afternoon. We'll do the NHL first, NBA, MLB. Tomorrow will be normal schedule. So see everyone there. And remember to bet responsibly. I'll be in the Discord. I got to get some lunch, but I'll be in the Discord in and out all day if you need me. So everyone have a good one. Good shit.